3, 2, 1, go. Hey everybody, welcome back to today's video here on the YouTube channel. This has been one of my most requested uploads over the past like 3 months. Everybody wants a trailer tour of our new race trailer, and so I'm gonna be bringing it to you here today before we get loaded for an action-packed weekend at Watsonville, the Ocean Speedway down in Watsonville, California, and before we head to the King Speedway or Kello Auto Speedway in Hanford. If you guys are new to the channel, maybe you did not know that we got a new race trailer. This is it right here behind me. It's a 45-foot T&E Stacker trailer. If maybe you're new to racing, you don't know what stacker means, it means it has a bottom floor and it also has a second floor where we can put like a spare car and carry so many more spare parts. And I'm gonna be giving you guys a full-on tour of it today. Before we get into that, real quickly, I just wanna say how thankful and blessed I am to have this operation. To be able to go sprint car racing at a high level and have the nicest equipment, have a nice setup like we do, I am just truly blessed, and a lot of it goes to my parents, my mom and dad. They've put so much work into what they do as a living for the last 30 years of their career. They have put so many long hours and so much effort into what they do to, I guess, set us up in a spot where we now are today, and we're just racers that love to race. We got a nice setup, and we're trying to make the most of all the opportunities we have, and just, like I said, we love racing. So we're gonna jump right into this trailer tour. Hopefully you guys enjoy seeing it, and we're gonna try to get out of this wind that we have here now. So we're gonna start off with just a quick shot of everything here on our bottom floor. As you can tell, we have a ton of room in this thing. Obviously the car will sit here as it's riding down the road, and then we put the meal just right in front of it. We're able to tie both of those down and have a little bit of room to spare. To start off though with showing you guys every inch of this trailer, I wanted to show you guys the new tabs that my dad just put in. Now these are obviously for hanging t-shirts across the back of the trailer. That is gonna make it super easy to hang up t-shirts while at the racetrack, so fans can easily walk up, check out our selection, and then pick what piece of merchandise they want. When we were in Arizona, we did not have those, and we were literally just hanging them from the wings here, trying to hope people could see them and try to show them to everyone, and that was just not working out. But right underneath all those tabs, we have a little rack for all of our ratchet straps to tie down the race car. Below that, we have a tire balancer for grooving our tires. And then to the right of that, we have a workbench, and above that, we have our TV. This is perfect to have in the race trailer because obviously on many weekends, there's so many different tracks and series running. Maybe if we want to watch the Outlaws or the All-Stars or anything, we can just plug our phone into the TV and turn it on. Across the way, we have another workbench, got a fire extinguisher in case of any accidents. We got our air reel, a nice spot to put all of our clean green rags. And now we're gonna get into all the cabinets. In this first cabinet, we have a broom, a shovel, and we have the airbag that rides under the sprint car when we're going down the road. My dad absolutely loves that thing, and we will not take the sprint car anywhere without it. In this cabinet, we just have a bunch of things that we're guaranteed to need at the racetrack. We have our pan for changing gears, we have our gear oil, a whole box of mud covers. On the top shelf, we have our pan that goes on the front nose wing that usually we use when we're doing maintenance before the night starts on a 2 or 3 day show. And then on the bottom shelf here, we have some wipes for cleaning up your hands, we have some gloves, and then also some tools for mounting up tires. To the left of that, we have 2 massive cabinets that hold all of our front axle stuff. So up here, we obviously have our spare complete front axles. Right below that, we have our radius rods. Also have a couple of drag links. Right below all of our front axles, we have all of our gear sets. To the left of our gear sets, we have spare front and rear arms. Also have a couple of stops. And below that, that is where we are carrying our Jacob's ladders. Below where our front axle is at, we have a long cabinet just for wicker bills. Also underneath the front axle cabinet, we have a couple more spare rods. And to the left of those spare rods, we have a couple more tools for dismounting and mounting tires. So for this side, we're starting to get closer to the center part of the trailer. This is like where a shock dyno could go. We do not have a shock dyno right now, and I'm not really sure we're planning on getting one at this time. So right now, we just have some more green rags and a case of bottled water in there. So that's about it for this side. Now we need to move over to the left side of the trailer. So now if we walk back up front, we can start going through these cabinets. A couple of these don't really have much in them. This one, for example, just the stuff for the stereo and TV. Got a tire groover, engine blanket, and these 2 cabinets are for all of our fuel jugs. When we ordered our vinyl for this year, Rocket Designs gave us some extra 18T, so we decided to put them on the fuel jugs. Kind of a nice little touch. Now in this next big cabinet, we got a couple of torque tubes up here. We got a spare housing. And then on this bottom shelf, we have a couple of spare air filters. We also have a mag. So I guess that's the first part of the trailer tour. We did all of our cabinets here in the back. And like I said, a lot of this stuff is placed in certain spots, so we're able to get to it very quickly. If something happens at the track, we want to be prepared and we want to be able to grab it and get anything fixed that's needed. So now as we move into the central part of the trailer, we will have our second floor above us. And then for anyone wondering, most trailers that have a second floor have this nice cover that just buttons right on it. It helps keep the dust out and anything that's stored up there clean. So we have a ladder here that we can climb up to the second story, or if you just walk to the front of the trailer, you can go up the steps. To the right of the ladder, this is where we keep our spare rear end. Believe it or not, we are not experts, but this was actually kind of tough to get in. There's like one way it comes in and one way it comes out, and we like to joke it's kind of a monkey act. But once we got it in there, we just put one little bungee cord on it. It doesn't move around while we're going up and down the road, and we're always hoping we can keep this thing in this cabinet. So now for this part of the trailer, anything in here is mostly engine or motor related. I say mostly because here on this top shelf, we have all of our spare torsion bars. You can see those right there. And then under that, we have a couple different notebooks for us to write down stuff at the racetrack. All of our different fuel pills, spark plugs, gauges, and like I said, just a lot of stuff that is engine related in there. Now we have these drawers below it where we have our shocks, more shocks. We have a lot of miscellaneous things that are all organized in their own spot. Front wing and top wing posts. We have a couple hydraulic cylinders for the wing slider. Zip ties, rivets, some spare nuts, and a couple other things. And then in this bottom drawer, we have a couple more things relating to the engine. We have a bunch of lines. This part of the trailer, though, we are still trying to figure out and make sure we can get everything all organized and in the spot that we want to. So like I said, if we need to, we can grab things quickly. Directly across where we keep a bunch of stuff related to the engine, this is going to end up being our merchandise cabinet. Once we get this all dialed in, which we used it at Arizona and Tulare, it's going to be super easy. Someone walks up, they maybe want a red hat or a blue hat or a large blue shirt or black shirt. I can walk right to this cabinet, open it up, grab it, walk back to the end of the trailer where they're waiting, and it's a done deal. So now that we're past most of the cabinets, we're back here with our tire rack. For this weekend, right here, we have all of our left rears. On the bottom, we have 4 right rears, and we also had to throw in 1 more left rear. And then also on the top rack, we have our front tires. Across from our tire rack, we have a huge workbench. At the front of the bench, though, we got a solvent tank, which is going to be so nice when we're on the road and we need to clean stuff. We can just drop it right in there and get all the grease off. And then we got some Simple Green, some glass cleaner, our extreme pressure grease, some degreaser, some gear oil. And then we got some more stuff for cleaning the race car. Always plenty of WD. No real reason to open any of these up. This is just a place for me to store camera stuff. We got stickers, spare helmet, just a bunch of miscellaneous little things that we kind of keep up here. Below the bench, though, you guys are going to want to see this. Well, these are all of our engine bays. But right now, Carly is keeping her dirt bike here to ride down the road. At the very end, we actually do have another sprint car engine. We got the Ryder 410 for this weekend at Hanford. So that thing's on a stand. It's all secure. It's not going to go anywhere while we're traveling. If maybe a team that was running a major series that they were committed to was using this trailer, they would probably have this thing full of motors. And there's plenty of space to keep them down there. As we walk up the steps, we're going to check out the living quarters. We got a spectacular living quarters here in the front of the trailer. Sink, microwave. Open this up, you got a toilet. And you actually have a decent sized shower to the right of it. So now where I'm standing, I have a good view of the upstairs to share with you. This is what our upstairs looks like. This is where a spare car would go here right against the cover. We don't have one up there right now though. We're still trying to get everything organized in the upstairs and where everything should specifically go. We obviously have plenty of room up here now with no spare car, but maybe towards the summer months where we do put a spare car up here, if we do travel, it will be just a little bit more crammed. I'm going to be keeping a ton of merchandise also here on the second floor. This spot right here is for all of our spare front wings, and we're able to use bungee cords, and with the mounts, I guess, that they have on the wall, it's super easy to carry these things as we're traveling. Towards the back here, we have a couple of front axles, got some chairs, unmounted tires, couple of wheels, spare radiators, spare rear nerfs, radius rods, some front bumpers, some more spare nerfs, more blue towels, more mufflers, some headers. And then below that, some more oil, and we also have some more merchandise. Like I kind of said, everything upstairs is going to kind of change from week to week until we really figure out where we want everything. But right now, we just kind of try to keep it clean as more merchandise comes in and out of here. And once we get to the track and start spreading things out and looking for sizing, it can get a little messy. Well, that is a look at our new race trailer. This T&E is absolutely beautiful, and we're so excited to use it for our 2021 season and beyond. I guess one thing I might have forgot to mention in the beginning of the video, we do have slots to carry 3 top wings. Those are right above me. The first time we put them up there, it was a little bit difficult, but once you kind of figure out the routine of like, all right, everybody stand here, this guy carries this side, this guy carries the other side, and which way to put them in, you can slot those things up there so easily. And if you have to pull one down, that process is easy as well. So that is going to conclude today's tour of our 45-foot T&E Stacker trailer. I was originally going to show you guys the meal and kind of give you a tour of that in today's video, but I figured there's already so much, we'll probably save that for another time. And we're still kind of in the stages of developing different parts of the meal and where we want to put stuff, and kind of doing cool things like maybe cutting out the foam for all the tools. We haven't got a chance to do that yet. So just a bunch of little things, but we're getting ready to load to head down to the Ocean Speedway in Watsonville, California, and Hanford with the King of Thunder 410 sprint cars down in Hanford, California. That's the Keller Auto Speedway, so we're gearing up for a big weekend, but hopefully you guys enjoyed today's tour video. It was pretty fun to make and awesome to kind of share where we keep everything in the race trailer. And one more time, I do just want to say I am so incredibly blessed and thankful to have this thing. I know I said it earlier in the video, but so much of it just goes to my mom and dad for all the hard work they've put in over the last 30 years of their life to kind of put us in a spot where we are today. Put us in that spot, and we're fortunate enough to go racing at a high level. And like I said, I'm just so thankful for that opportunity, and I'm trying to make the most of it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to kind of get out of this wind. We're going to finish loading everything in the trailer and gearing up to go racing this weekend. If you missed the previous video where we kind of talk about all the details on where we're going to be at, definitely check it out. And if you did miss that, check out Flow Racing for all the live coverage of the 2-day event and so much action that's going to be coming this year, as we're going to be racing at so many events that are covered by Flow. I'll put a link at the top of the description if you want to sign up to watch that. We'll see you guys all in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Deuces.